I got to comb my hair for this one. I got to comb my hair for this one. Please give me a minute. I got to comb my hair for this one. We got a live for you guys today. We got a live for you guys here today. Let me wait for everybody to catch up to this live. Thank you, Lord. We finally got some good news. We finally got some good news. I'm going to give it like a minute or so. Allow people to catch up to this live. Let's give it like a minute or so. Also, make sure you check in and let us know where you're coming in from. Finally, thank you, Lord, we finally got some good news. Oh, my goodness. Let's allow people to catch up to this live. Let me go ahead and get these things ready here. We got some breaking news for you guys. Breaking news. And then we're going to get into it. Yes, yes. Let me make sure everybody catches up to this live. Let me share this real quick. Make sure y'all check in and let us know where you're coming in from. Let me share this real quick. Let me see. Sweden. Shout out to Sweden. Let me just do this real quick. Let me share this over here. Okay. Let's give it like another minute or so, and we're going to get into this one right here. Let me share that. Okay. Shout out to Albany. Shout out to Jersey. Let's give it like another 30 seconds, and we're going to get into it. Let me post this right here. And then I think we good. All right. I think we good right there. Let me see this. Okay. So let's get into this breaking story. So actually, we were about to start publishing content a few minutes ago, and we got the news that Russell Westbrook was going to be coming off the bench. Also, let's try to get these likes up. We heard the news that Russell Westbrook was going to be coming off the bench. Just give me a second here. Okay. So we got the news. Actually, one of the people that works with us, shout out to Mitch. Mitch actually sent us the news that Russell Westbrook was going to be coming off the bench. And to me, that was a huge surprise. And I'll tell you why. I want to get into the report. First. Let me get this here. So we're getting it from sideline sources. It says Russell Westbrook has requested to come off the bench to help the starters establish consistency. I got another report here from Bleacher Report. Let me post that right here for the people that need some verification. I'm posting that right there in the comment section. It says Russell Westbrook will come off the bench for the Clippers tonight. It said the Los Angeles Clippers will bring Russell Westbrook off the bench in Friday's in-season tournament game against the Houston Rockets, league sources tell Bleacher's Report. Swingman Terrence Mann will start for the first time this season in place of Russell Westbrook, sources say. Westbrook approached the coaching staff with the idea to help the first unit develop some chemistry and provide the second unit with spirited play, sources say. Westbrook, the vocal leader of the team, told the coaching staff he wants to do whatever it takes to win, sources. Man, goddamn, we got to clap for Russell Westbrook. And then it says the Clippers 3-7 have lost 6 in a row and 5 consecutively since acquiring James Harden. Head coach Ty Lue told Bleacher Report this week that getting these accomplished players to sacrifice and buy in to the reduced roles is his toughest challenge as a head coach. Lue is using an experimental period to evaluate new rotations and lineups. BR reported on Wednesday that Lue is not married to the starting lineup featuring Westbrook, Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, and Ivica Zubac. Thank you, Lord. Finally, some good news with these damn Clippers. Finally, some good news. Maybe I ain't got to call them the damn Clippers no more. This is fantastic news. I want to get into it. I got a lot that I want to say. Let me see where some people are coming. Let's try to get these likes up to 100, by the way. Let's try to get these likes up. Somebody said Russell's a real one. You're damn right he's a real one. Let's try to get these likes up to 100. I got a lot that I want to say. First of all, it is 100% clear to me, and I think to a lot of people, that this lineup that the Clippers had of Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George simply was not working. Simply was not working. As a matter of fact, we may do a special show for this particular story, but we're probably only going to release it on the Dreamers Pro podcast that we have. Let me just try to pin this right here. We posted the Dreamers Pro podcast. If you guys are not following the Dreamers Pro podcast and you want exclusive content, make sure you go follow the Dreamers Pro podcast. We just pinned it in the comment section there, so make sure you guys definitely check that out. The Clippers had to do something. They had to do something. It had gotten so bad with this team that I actually stopped checking the standings. I wasn't even paying attention to the standings or their record. I had no idea until reading this recent article that the Clippers had a 3-7 record. A 3-7 record. For the new people coming in, a new report just came out from various sources. One of them that we're reading from is from Bleacher's Report, and it says, sources, Russell Westbrook will come off the bench for the Los Angeles Clippers tonight. It says the Los Angeles Clippers will bring Russell Westbrook off the bench in Friday's in-season tournament game against the Houston Rockets, league sources tell Bleacher Report. Swingman Terrence Mann will start for the first time this season in place of Russell Westbrook, sources say. First of all, before I even continue on with this report, the Clippers just did a brilliant thing. The Clippers just did a brilliant thing. Number one, they are bringing Russell Westbrook off the bench. Now, I wouldn't have cared if it was James Harden, to be quite honest with you. What I did know was that both of these guys could not be in the starting lineup. But here's what they just did. You take off Russell Westbrook off the court. Your bench now has a scoring punch. That's number one. Number two, you now have someone that's going to push the pace, is going to be able to attack the defense and get those second unit guys easier shots. Number three, you no longer get into this thing where in the offense, in the starting lineup, you get into this thing where, is it Kawhi Leonard's turn? Is it Paul George's turn? Is it James Harden's turn? That's number three. Number four, by putting Russell Westbrook to the bench, James Harden can now play his natural position as a playmaker, as an assist guy. James Harden now goes into his natural spot. He's no longer a spot-up shooter, and you now bring in Terrence Mann into the starting lineup, who I believe, let me get Terrence Mann. I think Terrence Mann must be 6'6". Let me just see. Terrence Mann. How tall is Terrence Mann? Terrence Mann got to be, how tall is Terrence Mann? Terrence Mann's height. He got to be, man, I don't know what the hell 1.96 is in meters, man. Terrence Mann, 6'5". Okay, Terrence Mann is 6 foot. I don't know what 1.96 is. I don't know what that is. Now, Terrence Mann is 6'5". Also, guys, let's try to get these likes up to 150 likes. Let's try to get these likes up to 150 likes. So you now bring a Terrence Mann, who, number one, is a 3-and-D guy. He has a lot of length. He has versatility. He can play both sides of the ball. And he can knock down the open three. And I think what the Clippers just did now is they can now start figuring out who that other guy is going to be. So now the starting position features, at point guard, you have James Harden. At the 2 or the 3, you can either have Terrence Mann or Paul George. Most likely you put Terrence Mann at the 2. Then you put Paul George or Kawhi Leonard at the 3, and one of those guys got to play the 4. Even though the lineup is still small because you have a bunch of forwards, at least now the offense should be able to get into a better flow, because you're no longer going to be into this position where Terrence Mann is going to be demanding shots. He's not. Another thing the Clippers just did by inserting Terrence Mann into the starting lineup is that they just improved their perimeter defense. So when they switch, the only person the defenses are going to be looking to exploit is James Harden. You no longer will find them try to exploit or maybe post up a Russell Westbrook who's 6'3". So the Clippers just improved a lot of things. I want to get to another aspect of this decision here. I want to get to another aspect for the new people coming in. We got the Dreamers Pro podcast pinned at the top. If you guys want exclusive content, be sure to follow the Dreamers Pro podcast. We have that pin right there. And also, we release our full shows on the podcast before they come out on YouTube. So if you're one of those people that like to listen to podcasts, the Dreamers Pro podcast is right there. There's another part of this story that I want to focus on. Let's try to get these likes up to 200. We need to talk about Russell Westbrook. The biggest story, apart from the fact that the Clippers have now decided to decide to remove one of these guys off the floor, is we got to talk about Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has now shown in 2 consecutive cases that he is willing to do whatever it takes for his basketball team to win. That's what Russell Westbrook just shown. Over the last 2 years, we've been hearing all kind of crazy reports about Russell Westbrook as a locker room vampire. Russell Westbrook is selfish. He wants to do things his own way. Blah, 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 blah. But here you have a Hall of Fame player who, by the way, was already in the starting lineup. Westbrook was already starting for the Clippers. If anything, some people will say, let James come off the bench. Let James be the one to make that sacrifice. But in this particular instant, you have Russell Westbrook saying, I'll come off the bench. Westbrook deserves a lot of credit for that. And what I personally believe is it would have been very difficult for Ty Lue to go to one of those Hall of Famers and tell him to come off the bench. It needed to be one of the players saying that. And what I think just happened is the Clippers just solved a majority of their problems. And what you're going to see is this team is going to improve dramatically. Dramatically. Because now James can play the role of just being a facilitator. You can now go back to running your offense through Kawhi. PG can now be that second guy. And whenever James comes out of the game, you don't have a drop-off at the point guard spot. So you can now bring Russell Westbrook off the bench with Norman Powell. You can bring him off the bench with, who else do they got? Norman Powell. They got who are some of the other players? I haven't looked at the Clippers roster in a second. Let me get the Clippers roster here. Let me pull it up here. Clippers roster. It's been a while since I looked at their roster. Let me get a look at the Clippers roster. It's been a while since I looked at it. Let me see what they got. They got who they got? They got Bones Highland, Amir Kofi. Who else they got? They got Paul George, blah, 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 blah. Okay, PJ Tucker, Norman Powell. Okay, Mason Plumlee, but he's injured. So you can now bring him off the second unit, and you now have guys like Norman Powell and these guys that can benefit off of a Russell Westbrook by getting them easy shots. PJ Tucker and these guys. To me, listen, I think the Clippers realized that they needed to do something. They needed that thing of having Russell Westbrook, having Paul George. It wasn't going to work. It was not going to work. I see you're in the UK. Welcome. Appreciate that. Clippers need this losing streak to wake the F up. Yeah, I think they need it. I think they needed it. I think this was the only possible solution for this team. This was it. There was no way that other lineup was going to work. No way. And now I think we're going to see a drastic improvement with the way this team performs on the floor. Now, I see some people talking about Ty Lue. Here's the thing. People are talking about Ty Lue. I appreciate that, Sam Frank. Ty Lue could only do so much. Ty Lue, I think, knew that it would have been very difficult for him to approach these guys. He needed one of them to come out there and say that. And I think that Russell Westbrook and everybody else understood this. I don't think Kawhi Leonard was going to say somebody needs to come to the bench. I don't think that. And that's the reason why I put up that question on the channel the other day. Would the Clippers be in a different position if Kawhi had Kobe's personality? I personally believe that Kobe would have been one of these guys that would have been willing to say or do anything to win. And if there was an obvious solution that needed to be taken, and in this case, one of these guys coming off the bench, I think Kobe would have done that. If you guys remember, when Kobe had the team with Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, and Paul Gasol, when it wasn't working out, they just decided that they were going to be running the offense through Kobe. That wasn't the Mike D'Antoni system. There was a lot of posting up of Kobe Bryant, running the offense through him, slowing down the offense. And they said that's the way that they're going to play, playing through Kobe. And I think Kobe would have done something. In the case of Kawhi, I don't see Kawhi Leonard doing that. Now, somebody just mentioned that Harden is a diva. Here is the beauty of this. Let me tell you why this particular move could possibly have solved a lot of the Clippers' issues. I'm going to tell you guys why. Let's try to get these likes up to 250 likes. Let's try to get these likes up to 250 likes. By Russell Westbrook opting to go to the bench, here's what the Clippers just did. They've now created a scenario in which you can never bring all four of these guys back into the starting lineup. You can never, ever do it because we knew it was not working. So they needed to find a way to break up these guys. So now what happens is if James Harden is not working out in the starting lineup, you're not going to bring Russ back to play with him. No. In that case, what you do is you're now going to bring Harden to the bench and bring Russell Westbrook back into the starting lineup. So it works perfectly. There was a viral video going all over the internet when the game was close, and you saw Russell Westbrook get subbed out. And some people were saying Russell Westbrook was upset because Russell Westbrook wasn't sure of his role. Am I going to be finishing these games or not? Usually, guys that come off the bench are not usually the guys that finish the game unless they're playing well. So to me, I think the Clippers have solved a lot of their problems. And I think that now we have to wait and see how this team plays with James Harden. Because although James Harden and Russell Westbrook do similar things, there are some things that make them different. I want to pull up James Harden's stats to Russell Westbrook. Let me see Russell Westbrook. For the new people coming in, the breaking news is that Russell Westbrook has decided to come off the bench. Let me see if I can get James Harden's stats here. Let me see if I can pull up James Harden's stats. Okay, Russell Westbrook. Let me see, James Harden. Okay, so here's what James Harden gives the Clippers. You have a 20-point per game scorer, although that's not what he's going to be doing. He's basically a 40-something% shooter from the field, although he's not going to be attempting a lot of field goals, so we don't have to worry about that. But in terms of spacing and free throw shooting, this is where it becomes important. James Harden is shooting 38-37% from the three. If you compare that to Westbrook, Westbrook is shooting 31%. Now, Westbrook wasn't hurt in the Clippers because he's not taking a high volume of threes. Westbrook was only attempting 3 3-pointers, 3.5 3-pointers a game, whereas Harden was attempting 7 or 5. James Harden shot 38.5% on 7 attempts from the three. So he's a legitimate 39% shooter. This season, he's attempting 5.4 and he's making 37. So now what the Clippers just did is a few things. Number one, they got more shooting on the floor and they got more spacing. So now you cannot sag off of Kawhi Leonard or Paul George. Now, some people ask, well, what about Terrence Mann? Let's look at Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann stats. If you hear a little kid in the background, that's my nephew. So He just going through it right now. So y'all know how kids can be. He just going through it right now. So Terrence Mann, let me pull out Terrence Mann's 3-point shooting percentage. Let me see. 3-point shooting. Terrence Mann last season shot 41% from the three. 42%. That was his free throw 3-point shooting attempt. This year he was injured. He's shooting 35. The year before he shot 36. The year before that he shot 39. So the Clippers, listen, I can now begin to get excited with this team. Finally, I can get excited. And what I think is going to happen is now this team is going to perform fantastically well. I just have to see what Harden brings them, because Harden is not going to play defense and he's not going to crash the board. He's not going to get you offensive rebounds and get you second opportunities. That's what Russell Westbrook did. In terms of turnovers, both of these guys are both, I mean, Harden is a high turnover type of guy. I mean, last year, James Harden was getting 3.3 turnovers, but really when he had the ball in his hand, he's getting over four turnovers a game. With this particular offense, he's not going to have the situation where you have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George just standing in the corner and watching James Harden shoot. So I don't expect those turnovers to be as high. This season, he's only averaging 2.2 turnovers. So to me, man, I think the Clippers now, I think it's time we can start to get excited about this team, and I think you can see a turnaround. I expect Kawhi Leonard's numbers to improve. I expect Paul George's numbers to improve. I expect their defense to improve. And I also expect their offense to improve. The addition of Terrence Mann into the starting lineup is a game changer. Now, I still do have concerns about that 4 spot because they're still a little bit too small. What happens when Ivica Zubac gets into foul trouble? As you guys know, Mason Plumlee is injured. So the Clippers are still going to be small. So what I think the Clippers need to do is they need to go out there and get some more size. But now that they no longer have all 4 of these guys in the starting lineup, I think things will begin to change. And to me, I think this speaks volumes. They are signing Daniel Theis. That's what I heard. Appreciate the comment from, who did I just see that from? Kenneth. No. Who did I just see that? Oh, man, I just saw Joey. Nah, I saw it from somebody else. Joey Robinson, I saw it from somebody else. But they're getting another big man. So to me, listen, I'm glad the Clippers are doing something. I think that Russell Westbrook should be applauded for this. And I think that he is making a lot of the people that say he's a team obliterator, like Skip Bayless and all of these guys, look foolish. Because Westbrook is showing you that he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. He's willing to do whatever it takes to win. And to me, that speaks volume. So to me, I think people that support the Clippers, they can begin to get excited. I think this is great news for the new people coming in. The report is from Bleacher Report and so many other sources. The Los Angeles Clippers will bring Russell Westbrook off the bench in Friday's in-season tournament game against the Houston Rockets. Swingman Terrence Mann will start for the first time this season in place of Westbrook, sources say. And they're saying that Russell Westbrook approached the coaching staff with the idea to help the first unit develop some chemistry and to provide the second unit with spirited play, sources said. It then said Westbrook, the vocal leader of the team, told coaching staff he wants to do whatever it takes to win, sources said. And also it says something quite important, which is this. He said, the article says Lou is using an experimental period to evaluate new rotations and lineups. Bleacher Report reported on Wednesday that Lou was not married to the starting lineup that featured Westbrook, Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, and Ivica Zubac. It also says the organization wants to afford Harden with the freedom to play his game and continue to stress to the star the importance of being himself. So this looks to be an internal decision that was driven by Russell Westbrook. Oh, shout out to my man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Too Raw for TV. Shout out to Too Raw for TV. Shout out to Dreamers Pro, and the Russ is showing his unselfishness, but Skip will never give the man his just due. First of all, shout out to Too Raw for TV. I'll be loving his rants, man. I'm always watching his show. Shout out to Too Raw for TV. If you guys are not subscribed to him, make sure y'all go subscribe to Too Raw for TV. That's my man right there. I love his rants, man, especially with his thumbnails and when he's playing that music. Shout out to Too Raw. Yeah, I don't think Skip Bayless will ever give Russell Westbrook his credit. I think with Skip Bayless, it is personal. But what you're noticing, to Too Raw's point, is that now you got guys like Keyshawn Johnson, people like what's her name, Rachel Nichols. If y'all been noticing on Undisputed, whenever Skip tries to slander Russell Westbrook, Keyshawn be shutting that down real quick. And Rachel Nichols is not going for it. As a matter of fact, when's the last time Skip Bayless tried to slander Russell Westbrook? Keyshawn was the one saying, "No, he's a great player," and Skip Bayless looked visibly uncomfortable. Like, really? He's a good player. So to me, I think those dudes have realized that Skip is slandering Russell Westbrook a little bit too much, and he's not letting him get away with the way Shannon Sharp used to pile on with him. They're not supporting Skip when he does that anymore. Rachel Nichols and these guys are not going for it. Shout out to Too Raw for TV. That's my dude, man. I always watch his channel. I always shout out to Too Raw, man. That's my guy. Make sure y'all check out his channel, subscribe to his channel, man. That's my guy. Also, for those of you guys who are not following the Dreamers Pro podcast, we have that pinned at the top right there. So let me get to another part before I let you guys go. What do I think this does for the Clippers in the Western Conference? Well, if we look at the Western Conference standings right now, let me pull up NBA standings. Let me pull that up. In the Western Conference, the Clippers were the number 12 seed. The Clippers had one more win than the Memphis Grizzlies. As we currently speak, the Clippers are behind the Utah Jazz, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Phoenix Suns, who have been surprisingly not good. And I think the Golden State Warriors have lost 5 games in a row because of Draymond Green and these guys and whatever the hell they're doing. And then in this Western Conference, if you think you're going to wait until the All-Star break or until the trade deadline to start making different moves and, you're not even going to make the playoffs. You're going to be fighting to make the play-in this Western Conference. So when people were saying, give it 30 games, give it 20 games, I'm like, are you guys kidding me? You're going to wait 20 games? What if they lose 15 out of the 20 games? That means there's no coming back for this team this season. So to me, the Clippers had to do something now. They had to. You couldn't wait 20 games because if you wait 20 games, this season will be gone. Now, do I think that the Clippers can start winning some games? Let me look at the Clippers schedule right here. Clippers. I know they're playing Houston. I actually thought they were playing Houston tomorrow. Let me look at the Clippers schedule. So the Clippers are going to be playing Houston, Spurs, Pelicans. I think the Clippers can get the next 1, 2, 3, 4 wins if they develop a chemistry. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how they play against Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, the Dallas Mavericks are going to be playing really hard. The Denver Nuggets are going to be pretty good. Now, the difference between the Clippers playing the Denver Nuggets a few days ago and then playing them later on the 28th is that the Clippers by that time would have developed some type of chemistry. So the Denver Nuggets are not going to be facing that same Clippers team. And by the way, the Clippers had a chance to win that game. They just didn't. So to me, I think this team is going to get better over time. I expect Kawhi Leonard and Paul George's shooting percentages to go up as time goes on. And I think that you're going to see a positive change for this team. But something had to be done. Y'all don't understand. I was not even watching Clippers games no more. It was too frustrating for me. People were roasting me all over the internet. You got people sending me condolences letters on Instagram like, yo, come on, just stay in there with us. It's okay, man. You got people tagging me to post. Somebody check on this man. Is he all right? People laughing at me on my Instagram. For those of you guys who are not following me on IG, make sure you follow me on IG. This is my handle. For those of you who are not following me on IG, that's my handle right there. Or matter of fact, and also let me send you guys a Dreamers Pro Instagram as well. If you guys are not following me there, because a lot of people be sending me messages on IG. So let me post that right there. You can follow me there. And also, if you want to follow Dreamers Pro, let me give you guys that in a second. Let me pull that up. Make sure you follow us out there because we do respond to a lot of the messages that we get. So y'all can follow us out there as well. Somebody said not beating Houston. I doubt that. Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, man. I'm not on. I don't be on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it is. I don't be on there. Man. The reason I'm not on Twitter is that whenever I go on Twitter and I tweet something, nobody responds. So I'm like, all right, well, there's no point. There's no point on being on Twitter. I get more engagement and plus Twitter X or whatever the hell it's called, looks like it's going to the dogs right now. They have totally destroyed that. I don't know what the hell Elon Musk and these people are doing. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that. I don't know what the hell they're doing on X or Twitter or whatever the hell that thing is called right now. So to me, this is great news. Also, if you guys make sure you follow the Dreamers Pro podcast, we got that pin at the top. So to me, I think this is a great move, and I expect the Clippers to start doing well. Somebody said that lie X works perfectly. Lyrics. What else? Where is the background? Okay, somebody's asking me where's the background right now. I am currently in the UK. I'm going to be spending the holidays with some family, so our studio is not here. We will be returning in the next few months, like in the next 2 months. So do not worry. We did not get robbed. We're just using a temporary studio. I'm actually at some family's house right now, so we didn't get robbed. The studio's there. This is just a temporary studio. Anyway, appreciate you guys being a part of this live. In 3 weeks, Charles will be doing the show with the bottle of Johnny Walker in the background. Frustration incoming. Didn't know Dreamers Pro was British. I'm not British, bro. I'm just here visiting family. I'm not British. I am not British, although I've been having some great British hospitality. The people out here pretty cool. Let me see. Congrats on the coming up. Hey, appreciate that, Cameron Johnson. I appreciate that. Better be blue label. Better be blue. Let's see what's happening tonight. All right, man. So appreciate you guys. Let's get a few more comments. Let me see what people are saying, and I'll let y'all go. Let me see. Better. Okay. So anyway, keep up the good work. Hey, appreciate that, Kenneth Cole. Win streak starts tonight. I think so too. Anyway, appreciate that. Make sure y'all check out Too Raw for TV's channel. Make sure y'all go check that out. That's my dude. Check out his channel. His rants are just, especially when he starts cussing and he just loses his temper. Man, I'll be cracking up. With that. Anyway, thank you guys for being a part of this live. We catch you guys later. We got a lot of content dropping today. So if you guys want to get that content early, make sure you check out the Dreamers Pro podcast. We got that pinned at the top. Catch y'all later. Peace.